All right, this chapter is about assurance. Okay. There's a theory. It says the theory allows full proof of known security policies. What that means is, did you ever, like when they build an airplane, okay, how do they know it's going to fly? Because they follow specific engineering and manufacturing process. They know. The same with systems and policies. It basically says, you can have policies in place to help ensure your system, okay? For components, for collections of components, okay? But what should your policies be? And we're going to talk about those, okay? Actually, that's not what it says. But the policies should be everything from users, how to use them, how to assemble them, how to configure them, how to install them, how to do just about everything. There should be something in place for pretty much everything, okay? The design principles that are on the test, all of them are on the test, okay? So when I cover those in a second, make sure you know, okay? It says guiding standards that are relatively independent of policies. Now let's talk about some of these design standards. First one is principle of least privilege. Subject should be given only the privileges needed to complete his task. So does that mean Roy should have administrator privileges? No. Yes. If he needs it, yes. If he doesn't need it, no. So give you what you need to get your job done, but nothing else. Okay? Our old system here, before our PeopleSoft system, we had HP reflections. There was no way for them to limit certain things. There was no granularity to it. So once you had access to the system as an instructor, you could pretty much do all kinds of stuff. So that was not really a good way of doing it. So least privilege, give you what you need to get your job done, but not much more. Okay? Fail-safe default says unless the subject is given explicit access to an object, he should be denied access. Okay? You can also think of it like Walmart. What happens if they lose power? What happens to the doors?
You don't want to know.
They should open. You should be able to get out.
Oh,
okay. They should fail to the open. So if you're in Walmart shopping and they lose power, you would hope the automatic doors would not lock, and even the ones here. If they don't open, you can push them and they will open. Okay? Yeah. Okay. But with fail-safe defaults, you want it to fail secured. You want it to feel like a bank vault. Remember Die Hard 1, Nakatomi Plaza? Remember when they cut the seventh seal of hell, whatever, it unlocked the vault?
yeah.
But you'd want it where it would, with a bank, you would want it to fail secure. Same with this. You wouldn't want a computer system to just, oh, something happened, everybody has access to all the files. You wouldn't want that, okay? Economy and mechanisms. The security mechanisms should be as simple as possible. The correct answer is not as cheap as possible. So many people tell me, oh yeah, economy mechanism, that's to search the economy for the cheapest security mechanisms possible. No, it has nothing to do with price, okay? I mean, it should be as simple as possible. Right? Now, over time, things pretty much naturally get simpler. If you've ever installed TCP/IP, most of you probably have never installed it because it's automatically there now. But way back when, with older, like Windows NT 351 workstation and stuff, that sucked. You had to manually install that stuff, and it was really difficult. But now things are getting easier and easier and easier. Did y'all see on the news over the Thanksgiving, whatever, shopping days, that the amount of purchases on Walmart's mobile application increased by over 50%? So that's happening. My banking is actually easier to do on my app than it is on the website. It's crazy. So things are really changing. You really want stuff to be as simple, but also secure. Okay? All right. And this is, but no simpler. Again, you don't want it to the point where there's no security involved. You want it so it's ease of use, but still has what it needs to have. Okay. Complete mediation. All access to an object must be checked to ensure they are allowed. In other words, are you really allowed in here? Okay. So if we were doing complete mediation for this class, I'd be pulling up the class roster and checking each one of you every single day of class. Okay? When we're talking computer systems, you don't want someone to log in one time, now they have access for their entire life. No, every day you got to log in, stuff like that. You want every time you access something, it must be checked. Even with the system now, I log in the morning. Actually, I stay logged in 24/7. I just lock it. But there's a ticket granting server built into Kerberos that is always updating my tickets and granting me access based on my credentials. So that's what we're talking about there. Okay? Open design. This is not DES. Okay? So the security of the mechanism should not be dependent on security of the design or implementation. Remember how DES was originally secure, was top secret? Now AES is an open design. It's kind of what we're talking about here. Open design. You want it to be good and secure based on the design, but not secret. Okay? Secrecy never works because somebody's going to let the word out. I always like it when people say, oh, I can't give out my email address. We can always find your email address. It's not that hard to do. Or I can't give out your phone number. It's not that hard to do. Okay? One time I actually emailed my doctor on Tinker. Anyone ever emailed their military doctor? Not ever email a military doctor?
No. Yeah.
Not a good thing. Like, oh my God, HIPAA says we cannot discuss anything whatsoever via email. Do not contact me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, holy moly, you think I'd blown up the world if I'm... I said, fine, I don't want to email you anymore. Just want a little question. No. Okay. Separation of privileges. A system should not grant permission based on a single condition. Username alone is probably not sufficient. They have multiple conditions. Okay? So should not grant based on a single condition. You always want more than one. Does anyone use the two-factor authentication with Gmail? You actually do? Okay. It's really good. It's an app you run on your phone. Then when you go to log into their website, your phone has a token built into it. And it has to show the... See, I enable it on mine, then turn it off like when I'm on cruise just in case. But it puts a 4-digit code that you have to type into the website within 60 seconds, I think it is, something like that, before it changes. So it's... Even if you got my username and password, without my phone, you couldn't get in. So
is it like RSA?
exactly, same exact thing. And it's free. It's actually really good. A couple drawbacks to it. You leave your phone at home, come to work, you ain't getting in your email. Because the token's on your phone. That kind of stuff. Okay? All right. Least common mechanisms. Mechanisms used to access resources should not be shared. The same security mechanism for... the chef in the kitchen should not be the same one protecting the financial system. Okay. You should not be sharing security mechanisms. Okay. Now, object-oriented does talk about reuse, but we're talking other things. Okay. Psychological acceptability. So security mechanisms should not make the resource more difficult to access than if they were not there. Okay. Shouldn't make it excessively difficult to access. Okay. Another thing you can also think about, I had a housekeeper years and years ago, and I got tired of leaving her a key or being there when she showed up. So I bought a biometric lock for my house. She's a Mexican lady? Oh, hell no. Ain't doing it. She would not use it. It's like, it's just a fingerprint. Nope, wasn't using it. It's like, darn it. So, psychologically... All right. Security systems in practice. Okay, those are the principles now. Okay, let's move on. It says, formal verification of entire system is not yet a practice. Okay, this computer system here, do you think that entire system was verified? There's no way. Even if the design was verified, was this specific build verified? Was every specific component in the system verified? Was this monitor verified? No, there's no way you can verify everything. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I had a video, I used to have a video, I don't know where it is now, but of Microsoft, the way they would have drivers and stuff built into Windows. You would actually have to bring the component to Microsoft. You would have to prove to them that it functions correctly and is designed correctly. And you would have to do all this, proving it to them before they would even add it to the Windows system as a driver built in. So, big difference. But no, there's no way to do an entire system. Okay, trustworthy. Says sufficient evidence to believe the system will meet requirements. Okay? So I'm buying something from Dell, a reputable company. We bought from them before. They got the version 760. Now they're coming out with the version 780. It's probably going to work. It's just an upgraded model. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Okay? You have sufficient evidence it's going to meet whatever. You don't have to check every single thing. Okay? Assurance is confidence a system meets security requirements. Okay? A lot of times it says here based on the development process. When I was in the software development flight at Tinker, we were CMM level 2, I think. That's the capability maturity model. It's the way you develop software. And just by the way you develop it is how you get this rating. And a 1 is the best. We were 2. 2 is pretty much the highest you can get. The only way you can get a 1 is if you're like God, I guess. But it was based on the processes we used. Okay? And it was very detailed. I mean, it's the whole thing. You know, you talk about pseudocode and stuff like that. I mean, you literally have to do that. You have to design whatever you're doing in pseudocode or some sort of thing, and then get it reviewed by your peers, make all the changes, go through that multiple times, then implement it, get that checked. So there's a multiple-step process. But the same thing with security, okay? If the design and the development process are good, you're pretty set. You got assurance that the system's going to meet whatever because they built it. It's the same when people design a new airplane. The design has been verified. You know, you ever see some of these bridges out there? It's like, I could never build a bridge. There's no way. Or some of these highways, like driving down through Dallas this weekend. How do they possibly have these pieces that actually connect in the middle? If I did, they'd never meet. Okay, but you know, the design of them was done correctly. You know the London Eye? Y'all seen the London Eye? The big Ferris wheel in London?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I watched the making of the London Eye. It was really only supposed to be up there for like 2 or 3 years, but then it's doing so well they're leaving it there. But the glass was actually made in 2 different locations, 2 different countries even. But the design, because the way they needed it at a certain time and everything, it was made by different companies. But when they showed when these pieces came together, and it's the same thing when they built the Olympics in Beijing. I mean, this one, what the birds in this building had, 2 million different panels of glass that were all the different size. How could you possibly design something that when someone built it actually fit together? So that's a good design process, a good development process. So it's amazing. Okay, a trusted system is evaluated, passed in terms of being well-defined requirements and evaluation methods. It's a system that meets what you want, does exactly what you want. Okay, it's been evaluated, meets all the criteria, and passed. It's like we have a whole bunch of students working at the FAA. They pretty much work in the accreditation area to make sure they meet the requirements. So, those are Eileen's classes, the SSAC and stuff like that. Okay? Skewer versus trust. This entire slide, every word of this slide, maybe, actually I think maybe not, I think the title's not on there. But every other word of this slide is on the test. Okay? I don't think row state's on there. But, okay. Secure is a binary concept. What we mean by that is, it's secured or not. Is that door secured right now? No, it's open. Could I have it like half locked? If it's half locked, it's still open. It's not locked. Yes. So it's either secure or not secure. It's not partially secure. Okay. It's a property of the presenter. I present to you that this door is open, and it's open. Or if I lock it, then it's closed. Okay. It's, again, absolute. It is or it isn't, just like the binary thing. It's assertive. I can assert to you that this is a secure system. And that's your goal. You want to have something secured. When I install a door, I want it to be, and actually that door might be unlocked.
Doesn't sound alarmist.
Now that's 100,000 years old. Okay, so that's a goal. Now trust, we have different degrees of trust. Do you think I trust Roy the same amount I trust Scott? No, I don't trust either of them. Hill of beans. Okay. Okay. Property of the receiver, I'm receiving your trust. Okay. Well, how much am I going to trust you? It's really up to me to decide. Roy can tell me he's trustworthy, but it's really up to me. Okay. It's relative, okay, or judged. I might trust Roy differently than Carol trusts Roy. Okay? No one should trust Roy. Okay? It's a characteristic of something, a very trustworthy person. Okay? Every single word on that slide is on there. Okay? Actually, the word context might not be. But it's on there. No, every word on this slide. So many people get that wrong. and it's worth like 8 points. Okay? Y'all got that?
Characteristic is not spelled that way.
Are you including the green line?
I like them spelled wrong.
Okay.
Are you including the green line?
No, the green line's not there.